Hey everyone, welcome to episode number 9 of the Big Fitness Show. My name is Stevie Richards, still not big yet, still weighing in around 182.4, but the true big man is here, the draw of the show. Big Mike Behrens, how are you doing today?
I'm good, buddy. I'm good. I am not the draw. We can keep going round and round about this, but I'm definitely not the draw. So, welcome everybody to the show. Excited to be talking to you today.
Hopefully we'll still be having that argument at like episode 1000 if we're lucky enough to have that many episodes. But this episode is pretty special to you and I. Everyone is, because we discuss topics that we're passionate about, but I don't think we're more passionate about anything than the people we love in our lives. And
True.
weird thing, serendipity or whatever you would call it. How in the world do you and I both have our anniversaries on the same weekend?
I don't know, man. Like, it's weird how that worked out. I had no idea that that was a thing until the other day when we texted about it, and so it's pretty cool. A day of like a day apart, 2 days apart.
Yeah, you were like, because we usually record this on Friday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern time, 9 a.m. Central. And you were like, hey, can you do Thursday instead of Friday? This weekend is my wedding anniversary. And I'm like, well, wow, I was about to tell you that like my wedding anniversary is this weekend. And, my wife's taking off Friday and we're going to do some stuff this weekend. So it's a small world, man. But that's the
Yeah.
first where we're sharing a anniversary weekend. But I figured that would be an interesting topic for episode 9 because you and I have both, worked out when we were single, traveled, wrestled, did all that stuff. And then getting married in my case, and in your case, getting married and having children, we
Hmm.
wanted to explore how that's changed,
Sure.
for better or worse, or what you would consider out there to be better or worse. We obviously I think it's been better. I don't know
Yeah.
about as far as your fitness journey, but we're gonna kind of go through what it was like to work out and do things and what our schedules were like, or even just fitness in general, and then getting married and how those things kind of got adjusted. Hopefully people enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, it has definitely been an adjustment. That's for dang sure. I've been married 11 years. How long have you been married now?
7 years
Seven.
on May 7th.
Yep.
7th on May 7th.
There
7th.
you go. So I mean it definitely has changed a lot over the course of the 11 years. And it was, I mean, working out when I was single was so easy. Single and no kids. I mean, it was great. Just get out of bed whenever I want, go to the gym whenever I want, not have to worry about anything, not have to answer to anything. And it's I don't get that anymore. That doesn't happen that way anymore. So it's definitely been a change and an adjustment. But I've learned a heck of a lot over that time as a husband and a father. Like, it's your fitness has to remain a priority. And there was a time where I always sacrificed my fitness for my wife or for my kids, and I didn't put my fitness first. And so I've learned that over the last 11 years that I have to focus on my fitness and working out and being the best that I can be so that I can be the best husband and the best father that I can be too. So it's been an adjustment figuring all that out. The home gym, which we'll talk about, has been a godsend because it makes it easier. But even before I have had the gym that I have now, I had a little bit of a gym in my garage, and even before that, I had just some weights to do some stuff. So making it easy for me to be able to get into the gym and get to the working out and stuff was yeah, was a big addition. It made it simpler. So really just prioritizing that was kind of the big thing. So really just
Your,
kind of
your
summed it all up.
schedule's a little bit tougher though. Your schedule's a little bit tougher currently because I work out very early in the morning. My wife joins me for that. But even if not, being able to work out early in the morning before anybody gets up. There was a time where I would even work out before she got up and then I would go to the gym with her. But with you, you actually posted as we're recording this yesterday on Instagram. You talked about how the day got away from you. And obviously, there's a lot of people married with kids that if they don't do it right away before everybody gets up, it's in the back of your mind that it may not happen today. Is that kind of where you're at on some days?
Oh, yeah, yeah. And for a long time, like I felt like I had to get up and work out before everybody was awake. So I was trying to get up at 4:30 every day. I'm not doing that right now. I'm trying to do it a little different, but I felt like I had to get up before the kids get up. The kids get up at like 6:45, get ready for school, get them out the door. I usually make them breakfast every day. and then help get them out the door, walk them to the bus, and then, come home and hang out with my wife and stuff. I've shifted my schedule. And so the other day that you're talking about was it just, I woke up at, probably 5:45, 6 o'clock, and then just kind of got ready for the day, packed the kids' lunches. And then next thing I know, I sat down at my desk, started doing some work, and I had a phone call that took a little bit longer than I expected. And then I had another call, and then it's 3:30 in the afternoon, and I'm just now getting to work out. And normally I've been done for hours. And so it's just one of those things that, yeah, my life kind of gets in the way sometimes, as it does with anybody. And my schedule dictates there's just certain non-negotiables that have to happen in the mornings. Like, I got to get the kids to the bus, got to get the kids lunch packed, got to make them breakfast. You can't, oh, they'll fend for themselves. I mean, they're only 7 and 9 right now, and I have a 3-year-old too. So like, they're not going to make their own breakfast yet. So somebody's got to do it.
Well, I mean, to be fair, there's kids that age working in the cobalt mines,
Well,
the electric cars, so they need to get some jobs.
fair. You're right. I'll tell them that they got to get to work.
Yeah, the old cobalt. I can't even say it. What's my accent? Cobalt mine in Illinois. Find yourself one. And make
Yeah,
me a
we'll put them to
Tesla,
work.
girls.
So yeah, so that dictates my schedule a little bit. And then, then they get home from school at like 3:30 in the afternoon. And so it if I don't get it done in that window of time, then I kind of try to, 3:30, I usually work and do things until about 5 or 6. And then the rest of the night, I just want to be intentional with my wife and kids and have family time, and then go to bed with my wife every night, and, go to bed at the same time and not be up all night working out or working or doing whatever. So yeah, if it's one of those things where it doesn't happen in the morning, it's tough to get it in that day.
How do you feel? I mean, it's off subject from the family stuff, but when you're talking about you worked out first thing in the morning and then yesterday it was like 3:30 your time. If you have to take caffeine or pre-workout at that time, or like, God forbid, I mean, I know people to work out at night, take the pre-workout, go home, eat a post-workout meal, and then just go straight to bed. I
Sure.
don't know. That blows my mind because it's like, first of all, waiting the entire day to work out would just drive me crazy because I'd be so OCD and paranoid about not being able to get the time in with
Yeah.
everything going. That's where I had to force myself to get up early. But when you do that, does that kind of mess up your sleep schedule? Or what if you had to do a 3:30 PM and then you go, "Oh, okay, I gotta get up early tomorrow before the kids get up," and you don't have that recovery time? It's kinda you already said before, your sleep is kind of broken up throughout the night anyway, so rest is
Yeah.
really important, and also your body clock as far as workouts paired with that.
Yeah. I mean, if it's a one-off type deal, it doesn't really affect me too much. And the caffeine part of it, I talked about, in last week's episode where I was drinking an insane amount of caffeine. I've gotten to the point now where I try to cut myself off at noon every day and not have any more caffeine beyond noon, because I really noticed that it was affecting my sleep. And I think it was the caffeine anyways. Maybe it's just the fact that my sleep's broken all the time. But I felt like it was groggy. It was hard to wake up, and I was trying to get up at 4:30 every day so I could get in the gym. But on a day like that where I work out in the afternoon, I once in a while will give myself a late afternoon caffeine, but I don't do a ton of it. I mean, maybe 130 milligrams, because the Focus I drink is 130 milligrams of caffeine. So I'll have a scoop of that, and if I drink it early in the afternoon before 2 or 3 o'clock, then it doesn't really impact me that much come bedtime, because bedtime for me is usually around 10. And so by then it's pretty much ran its course, and I'm not really like strung out by it anymore. So it's not as big of a deal. And then the workout piece, I used to try to work out at night, and then it was hard to go to sleep. But this was 10 years ago when my oldest was a baby. It was like, oh, well, I'll try working out at night. I didn't really like that too much, because I always felt just kind of amped after the workout, and I was tired, but not ready to go to sleep. Right. So the afternoon doesn't so much affect my sleep schedule. And I'm right now in a training cycle where I'm only doing one body part a day. So my legs are shot one day, but then the next day I'm lifting chest. So it's no big deal. Like the recovery time is a little better because of that. And I've started sleeping later. But if I would have tried to get up at 4:30 again the next day, it probably would have been a little bit tougher for sure.
Mm. Well, what was it like? Like when I met my wife, I'll tell you funny stories before we got married. This is where she got an idea about like I'm a little bit of a maniac when it comes to working out. Yeah, just
Really?
because I love doing it. And now even after the illness, more than
Yeah,
ever, like I cherish and I revel in that time. Like it was taken away from me for a couple months. So
sure.
while I'm in there, it's like I literally after I'm done, just sit there and take it all in that I was able to do it. It's still a very overwhelming feeling that won't go away anytime soon. I talked about it last week and the week before. But when we first got together, I was going and we had done Thanksgiving uh at her one parent, and then we did Christmas. We did Christmas at both, but we got a hotel. The hotel didn't have a gym, which I'll fast forward to the year after that. So I had an Anytime Fitness membership, which obviously, if people don't know, Anytime Fitness is key card access. You can go 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, holidays. And I had gotten that membership knowing that I was going to visit family on Christmas and
Sure.
wouldn't have access to a gym. It was too cheap to get, a Hilton or something that had a fitness center. So it was funny because we were we went to the hotel. We got there on like Christmas Eve, visited one set of family. Then when we went to get up that morning, I said, "Okay, I'm going to the gym." She's like, "No, no, you're not. We have to go see my family." I was like, "I'm gonna make you understand something right now." Not in a mean way. I was like, I do not miss workouts, even
Yeah,
on Christmas Day. And then
yeah,
to her credit, she just never heard of that before. She heard
sure,
about like normal people taking days off from the gym, but I wake up sore every day. So I needed to go, went and
sure.
worked out, and it was good. It was good conversation during the Christmas dinner of like, you guys do this morning. Now, the next year, I solved the problem because I didn't want to leave her at the hotel and drive to the Anytime Fitness. She would have went with me, but she was just like, "That's your time if you want to go," and I'm taking the day off. The next year, I was like, "Okay, I'm limiting all the excuses. I'm not going to drive and leave the hotel." So I started paying for a Hilton,
Yeah,
which is a bit more expensive, but when you think about the convenience, and if I was wrestling today, I would not stay in a hotel that did not have
sure.
a fitness center. It just eliminates like your home gym and my garage gym, 10,
Yeah,
15, 20-minute drive each way, having to get showered there. You got to bring your clothes. It just eliminates a lot of headaches and time. Time is
yeah,
money for us. So if I'm going to spend a
right.
little extra money, and that's what and it's a nicer hotel for her to stay
Sure.
at. I mean, compared to the places we probably stayed when we were at, so like the hourly ones where the suspect people were walking in and out every hour. So, occasional gunshots and stuff like
Yeah,
that, and knocks on the
totally.
door, ladies at night trying to conduct business, stuff like that. So, but then like she learned it, like, okay, he's pretty passionate about this working out. Then we went through a phase where we were trying to work out together at the same time, doing our workouts together and stuff like that. And we kind of split off from that. We'd still go to the gym together and we do
Sure.
that, but she stays and does her thing. I do my thing. And then kind of like, usually because I overtrain my cardio, she's
Mhm.
usually got the 40-minute workout in and I'm just done doing cardio. And then I walk her back to the house and then I come back and do weights. So that's kind of where we're at. But she's been great. I mean, just to cap that off, from somebody that wasn't a morning person to now she gets up at 3:30 with me, wants to work out, and I will give her this. She's wakes up with a smile on her face, as friendly as can be. I wake up like the old wrestling veteran, like putting the cigarette out, like, oh God, you know. That's where it's been a great experience. And like just to one last thing, and I'll go back to that. Like I used to be very selfish with the workouts and I had to get up and we had to rush. Not before I met her. Like it'd be like I got to get up and get to the gym before I change my mind. But
Sure.
now I kind of enjoy like getting up with her. We read our devotional for the day and all that stuff, and kind of takes about 15 minutes for us to get ready and get to the gym. But it used to be drive me nuts that it would take that long, but
Hmm.
now I actually cherish the moments of us getting ready together to go
Sure.
do that together. Does that make sense?
Oh, it makes total sense. Makes total sense. Did you bring out more of the fitness person in your wife when you guys got married, or was she already like really into fitness before you got married?
I think I brought it out in her to have fun with it more and
Mhm.
embrace it, and and people tend to, and I get discouraged just like you and probably our wives. It's a patience type thing. You're not going to see that change today or tomorrow or whatever, but we all get caught up in that, and that's where I'll encourage her. Like, if you just keep going every day, you're gonna
Mhm.
get the results you need. It's just a matter of consistency, and she's dialed into it now, and she does what she does. She's more I'm more still the Rocky training montage. She's the smart one that can train smart for health. I'm the
Sure.
person still trying to kill myself in the gym. I haven't given that up. But what about you two? Like, when you guys got together, and has it kind of followed the pattern of what we've done, or have you guys kind of always done separate things?
We've for the most part was always really separate, and it wasn't until recently that we kind of both got on the in the fitness mindset of things. My when we met, I was wrestling, so I was working out all the time. I was in good shape and stuff, and I would make it a point to work out. And then when we first got married, I would get up and go to the Export Fitness in the Chicagoland area, and I would get up and go in the first thing in the morning before she woke up. I would go to the gym, and or as she was getting up, she used to work early in the morning, so I would get up with her, and then she'd go to work. I'd go to the gym. I'd come home and whatever. So it was always kind of my thing, the fitness world, and then. But she played volleyball all the time. Like she played volleyball in college. She's a great volleyball player, and so she would play volleyball 3, 4, sometimes 5 nights a week, and that was her fitness. That's what she did. But then when we had kids, kind of changed, like, I mean, any woman who has kids, your life just changes and your body changes and things are different. And she's a terrible pregnant person in that she's sick all the time. And, like
Oh,
the pregnancy kicked her butt. She had 3 kids and puked virtually every single day of the 9 months that she was pregnant with all 3 kids. And so you just don't feel motivated to do anything, or it was hard. Right. And so uh during that time our youngest is going to be 4 in like a month, and she just she just had kids and gained a little baby weight and stuff and never really lost a ton of it. But then after a couple years ago, she got the fitness bug, and something changed in her where she just got like addicted to to fitness, and she started going to a boot camp and fell in love with the boot camp. And then went to another gym for a little while. They had boot camp style classes because the place she was going closed down during the whole uh everybody had to close their doors, mask stuff, right? So it was um fast forward to or then she moved to Orange Theory and was going to Orange Theory and fell in love with that, got in phenomenal shape. I was so proud. I'm so proud of her, of how hard she works. My wife is the hardest working person I know when she puts her mind to something. Like, there's nothing that's going to stop her and get in the way of what she wants to do when she wants to do it.
and
And when she got,
that's one of the hardest workouts you can do. Like, we
oh
would have
yeah,
trouble with that.
yeah, she kept trying to get me to go to Orange Theory with her, and I'm just like, no way, I'm not going to do all that running crap. And she took
Reminds
it
you
on
of
as
wrestling school, the 500 Hindu squats and all that stuff. We don't want to do
right.
that, right? But
But it was, I mean, I was super impressed, and she was in great shape. She was pulling, like, they would track rowing times and stuff, and she was getting super strong. Her arm, she's in great shape, like, and she is in great shape. And so she's just a hard worker. And so ever since then, it has brought us closer together in the fitness world, in that it's motivated me to be in even better shape because I got to keep up with her, number one. But it's also made us have like that a little bit more commonality, right? Like, we had athletics and stuff before, but this fitness piece really helped our relationship, but it also helped her be an even better mom, and her uh show up better, have more energy, want to do more things. Like, not that she didn't before, but it just was even amplified that much more. And so now it's gotten to the point where our new house is in a small town. The nearest Orange Theory is like 30 minutes away. And she didn't want to make that commute every day. She tried a couple of gyms in town that just didn't really resonate with her. And so we started, luckily we have the gym at home, which we did for me, right? And she's the kind of person that wants to have people around her, likes the competition, likes the pushing against somebody that's right next to her, likes showing up, likes the interaction with people. It's just logistically hard with in the small town that we live, and the availability of classes and class times. She likes to work out in the morning. There was a gym she was going to for a while that was had classes at noon, but it just totally like screwed up the whole day for her, and it just wasn't working. So anyway, so she came and now works out in the gym with me. I will give her a workout for the day, and she just does it. We don't like it. It's made us have even more of a bond together. I don't work out with her. I'll put together a workout. She works out, and then I work out afterwards. And that's kind of our routine of how we got it set up right now. And it's working. It's working really good. I don't think that I think she misses the connection of other people and being able to push with other people. But I'll stay in the gym with her for the most part, and like help her with her workouts if she's doing like got bad form or something, or needs to push herself on the weights or whatever. I'll help her with that. And it's actually working. I like it a lot because I get to help her in her workouts. I don't know that it's going to last because I think she'll eventually go back to a gym um, and get around people because she just likes that interaction.
Do you think doing some of the like we have the Tempo studio and it has like a leaderboard, it has other people competing with each other. They're not next to you, but
Yeah.
you have an element with that. You have other kinds of group competitive things that you can do. I'm surprised Orange Theory doesn't have an app like where you can do the beach body type thing. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I don't know that they do. I want to say that I looked at one point and it wasn't like a cheap app if they did, but I don't know if they give their workouts away in the app. I think they have an app
Their
for
their
login
app is
stuff.
to the franchisees, I think.
Yeah.
You have to own one to get that access.
Yeah. Right. So like they have that, and she uses Apple Fitness Plus, and she'll do rowing workouts there. That's like the cardio that she'll do, and they have like that's got a thing where it tells you if it's the back of the pack or the front of the pack, and it kind of tracks you versus other people. Some reason ours isn't working as of late. I don't know what's going on. She always ends up at the back of the pack and is pissed off. But even the not having someone there working out against her, I don't know that I think she needs to have someone right next to her in the same class. And I think she thrives on that competitive, even if it's not really a competition, she just thrives on that atmosphere and pushes harder and gets a better benefit, and um just works out harder that way.
Well, what about I don't have this element when it comes to family fitness, but what about the kids? I mean, you have to juggle. Obviously, it sounds like if they are home, she'll work out, you'll be with the kids. You guys will kind of swap spots, and then she'll watch the kids. But it's got to be, I guess, a double-edged sword that it's the kids seeing you guys work out and they have access, they can come in and play around, but at the same time, a safety issue to make sure if you're squatting or deadlifting or doing something, the kid's foot doesn't
Yeah.
go underneath it as you're dropping it. You got to be pretty aware that those kids they can dart in front of you or do.
Right.
There's no telling what three kids are going to do in a garage gym, I guess.
Right. And I will say that having a gym at home with kids is the biggest blessing and curse at the same time. Like it's the best thing in the world and it's the worst thing in the world because it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's frustrating sometimes. If I'm in there and I'm trying to get a real workout in, it's like I want to be left alone when I'm working out hard, and I want to just finish my workout, but the kids will come in and interrupt, and it's frustrating. Selfishly, it's frustrating, but in the bigger picture, and I always try to remind myself of like they're watching me work out, they're watching Jeannie work out, and so when they see mom and dad working out, it's in their head saying this is a normal thing, this is what we do, this is how we live healthy life. And so the best part of this with the kids is my 3-year-old. She's she's almost 4, but she comes home from preschool. She goes to like a little preschool thing in the morning. And when she gets home, I'm usually in the gym working out. And then when I get done working out, she wants to have a protein shake with me and she wants to go do her own workout. And so we'll go in the gym and we'll do push-ups. We'll do like 5 or 10 push-ups for like 2 sets. And then we'll do some jumping jacks. And she's like, Dad, can we go work out? And I said, well, why do you want to do that? And she goes, because you and mom do. And I'm like, oh, you know what I mean? So like with the kids, as frustrating as it can be sometimes, it is still the best having a gym and my kids seeing that mom and dad are working out and taking care of themselves and they're making it a priority. That's that's a good thing. And I think for long term with the kids, they're going to see, well, mom and dad have always made that a priority. And it's just going to set them up to really understand that that is something that everybody needs to prioritize uh, in life, you know?
I agree with that, and the fact that they're interested in seeing that is a huge deal.
Yeah,
That's something too that, like we talked about, being single, you tend to be a little more selfish with your
sure.
workouts. You don't want to take a break. Even something as simple as like, I've noticed it doesn't feel like a change, but the priorities do change in a way that I'm going to walk my wife back to the apartment because our garages are detached and away from the apartment, but I'm going to walk her back and make sure she's safe. I can take
Sure.
5 to 7 minutes to make sure she's good, or even with the workouts. If she's not done, I hang out. It's just, it's weird. It's weird to even think of what my life and what my attitude or what my outlook on fitness was before I was with her, because it feels
Hmm.
like we've been together forever.
Yeah,
No, it's nowhere near that.
sure.
It's just incredible to know that, like, I went from fitness being something to where I don't know, just like everything that's changed, vanity, ego, pride, all that stuff. And now the fitness serves to kind of accommodate my wife and make sure she's comfortable and also be healthy for her so I can be around. So she actually, it's funny, we were talking about it off the air last week, but she brought it up to me. She's like, you know what? I really just want to push my cardio up. And I honestly, the recumbent bike and even the air bike, kind of like, I don't use it anymore for my back. And the teeter thing is good for her, but it doesn't feel the same. She was like, do you think we could chip in together and get a curved treadmill? To which I say, I'll just get it for her because
Yeah,
that's amazing, because she wants to do, she doesn't like cardio, but
sure.
the curved treadmill will probably be the next purchase for both of us to
Sure.
get in our gyms. Because I know
Yeah.
your wife, you love them, but your wife isn't quite convinced yet.
Right.
And
Right.
that's
Yeah.
probably
She
another
doesn't.
way. That's another thing with family fitness is you have to figure out what equipment is good for everybody. It's not just about what you like.
Mhm. Well, and I think it, yeah, having the equipment like that, and yeah, my wife doesn't like those curved treadmills. I think they're better for form and technique and stuff. But, we'll get one eventually. It's going to be a little bit when that happens.
You just
But
tell
I
her
think,
that a company sent it to you for review. And
yeah, there you go.
I will,
Well, like the equipment piece of it, the thing that I like with my gym is that I've got just the bands, right? Like you've got your band workouts and how simplistic those can be, but they can be really effective too. And so teaching my kids things to do with the bands. Like they're right now they're in a spot where they'll take one of the bands, the thickest band, and we'll loop it over the pull-up bar and they'll just like hang on it and like almost like a swing. But they're getting used to playing with the bands and seeing the different things that they can do. And so having equipment is great and they can learn to love different equipments and things, but there's so much that can be done with just the bands that it makes minimal equipment, minimal things, like I've got some medicine balls that the kids can throw. I've got some battle ropes that the kids like to play with because they're fun to play with. So I think finding things that are fun for the kids, fun for you, for your spouse, like it makes it so that it can be an enjoyable family experience. And yeah, I don't know where I'm going with that, but
it's just obviously not everybody is going to be able to have a home or garage gym, although there are scales of it that are less.
Sure.
Like you said, if even if you've got a resistance bands, like and I got the lit access system that hooks up to the door, and you have an app with that that measures muscles and that muscle imbalances and all time under tension and all that stuff. There's tools out there, and we're going to get to that in a future episode. I think we wanted to do um, some of the best products to or best types of fitness during a recession because money's tight.
Sure.
We're talking about our businesses off camera. And I think that should be maybe the next episode where we talk about the most affordable ways people
Hey,
could work out. And the bands are included with that. And you can go to YouTube and get like tons of free workouts. I
sure.
shouldn't say that because I try to sell programs. But, it's taught me being, being in this stage of my fitness journey and now having a family and having a wife and having different responsibilities and priorities have been really great. Like I almost like look back at like when I used to work out alone and it used to be my own little thing or whatever that it just doesn't I wish I would have met her sooner and married her sooner because it would have changed me a lot sooner when it came to that.
Sure.
But
Yeah. And
it's
I
still
think
the
when
end of the world if I don't work out in the morning. I was during those 2 months, I was miserable.
sure. I mean, I think to your point, like your priorities, the reason you work out shifts so much when you have a family. And like you can work out in the profession of wrestling, like you work out for vanity reasons a lot too. Like it's you got to look good, you look like a wrestler, and so there's that piece of it. But one thing that I've really realized being a father is like I was talking about it right at the very beginning is if I'm not showing up as the best version of me all the time, then I'm not being the best dad that I can be. I'm not being the best husband that I can be. And so if I'm going to be the best version of myself, what does that look like? It's making sure that my fitness and my health is a priority and not over my family, because obviously family is the most important thing, but I can't be the best version of me for my family if I'm not fit and healthy. And so then same thing with my wife and your wife. You can't be the best version, you can't be the best wife possible if you're not taking care of your health and taking care of your fitness. And so my kids, they're not going to be the best humans that they can be if they're not taking care of their health and their fitness. And so I think from a reason, everybody talks about finding your why, like my fitness journey and my fitness now is yes, I still wrestle once in a while and I still want to be in shape and there is a little bit of vanity to it, right? Everybody wants to look good naked. But it's more of I want to be the best dad that I can be. I want to be fit. I want to be in shape so I can play with the kids. If they want to go for a bike ride, if they want to go for a walk, if they want to go play in the yard, if they want to go play volleyball, if they want to go swimming, whatever it's going to be, I want to be able to do that with them. And I think, as all husbands, anybody listening to this, working out for that reason is a great reason. If you're not, you're kind of being selfish. I think it shifts the selfishness, right? Like if you work out and you don't take care of yourself, you're being pretty selfish by not taking care of yourself. And so taking care of yourself as a family man is probably the most selfless thing that you can do because you're doing it for the reason of showing up better in every area of your life and showing up better for your family.
Something I gotta get off social media before I say this, but I see
Yeah.
social media. Sometimes there's people because fitness, there's fat shaming, but there's also fit shaming. We can
hmm
talk about that on a completely different episode. But
Sure.
anytime I see anybody who has a family or has any kind of responsibility or a loved one that it would serve you better to try to be alive as long as possible for them,
Mm.
and so you can be with them when they start talking like almost like a joke about how they don't eat well, they don't work out, they got this dad bod and all this stuff. I mean, it just grates me to no end.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not a joke. It's really not.
No, it's not. It's not. And it's funny you say that right now. Like yesterday I was on Instagram and a buddy of mine, Joey, posted a video of it was heartbreaking to see. Um, the video was a car what looked it was kind of it was black and white, so I couldn't really see. It was like surveillance footage almost, I think. But there was a stroller with a child in it that started to roll away from the car, was rolling towards traffic. And so there was a bunch of traffic happening. The mother, I think I couldn't tell but the person that was with the baby went to go grab the stroller, but tripped and fell, was very overweight, could not get up to go save the baby while the stroller was rolling away because they were so out of shape and so heavy. And I feel like they hit their knee or something when they fell. And so like you see this video of the parent laying there, heavy, overweight, cannot physically get up to go save their child. And it's like, I'm watching this. Luckily, at the very end, some stranger comes in and grabs the stroller and stops it from getting hit by the cars, all this kind of stuff. So the baby was fine, but this parent, and I just thought to myself, oh my God, as a parent, you couldn't save your child. You like, it's so sad that so many parents have gotten to that point where if you had to go run and save a kid, could you do it? If a stranger came up alongside of you, you're walking down the street and somebody tried to, grab your kid and run with
I've
them,
seen plenty of
could you
those
run out,
videos.
run them
Yeah.
down?
Yeah.
Oh, like it's, I think from we're getting kind of in a different direction with this piece right now, but I think from a fitness and family and being fit for your family, I think little things like that you don't even think about are huge. I live on a cul-de-sac, so there's not a lot of traffic, but a couple weeks ago, there was somebody come driving down the cul-de-sac, and people like to come down the cul-de-sac, turn around, and then drive out. Just, I don't know why, they just do. But my kids were outside playing, and like, there's that instant piece of me was able to run up, get in front of my kids and stop. And like, not that I had to, it wasn't even close. So it wasn't like a serious thing, but because I ran up, they immediately realized, oh crap, I better slow down. I don't need to drive this fast. But I was able to protect my kids in that process. Right. So I think just from a fitness and your family, like being fit for your family is one of the absolute most important things that you can possibly do. And it has, over the last 11 years that I've been married and we've got kids, is just proven to me that I have to do this for them, you know?
Well, also, but I think guys are obviously going to have that. If I'm strong, if I'm fit, if I have
Mhm.
stamina, endurance, that means if there is a situation, I can defend my
Sure.
family.
Yeah.
That's the way guys think about it. I gotta be strong. I gotta be able to, God forbid, at least give them enough time to get away.
Yeah.
And I've had that talk with my wife before, even when I was sick or whatever. I was like, if something goes down or if we're here, run,
Yeah.
run.
Yeah.
It's like I can't leave. I said, I can, I can, they're going to do whatever. You get away, you call
Yeah.
911. And these
Yeah.
are things that, like, even with home defense and other stuff like that, I know we're going off a little bit,
Yeah.
but to be physically capable and ready to, either defend or sacrifice yourself to make sure the people you love are safe.
Mhm.
That's what guys think. At least that's
Sure.
what I think we think.
Well, that's what I think that's what guys should think, that's what men should think, in my opinion. But,
We don't even
whatever.
know what a man is today.
Well, yeah,
Different
whatever.
episode, right?
Yeah. We ain't got
We're
time for that.
eventually going to get ourselves into trouble, but it's episode 9. Let's keep
Well,
going.
like I just think like from for me with this whole family and growing in the fitness journey as a family man, it has shown to me that I used to think that if I focused on my fitness, I was being selfish and I was focused on me and I only cared about my fitness and everybody else. Like that was the way I had it framed in my head. And I think a lot of people fall to that. And a lot of men, a lot of married men, a lot of fathers, a lot of husbands fall to this idea of like, well, I can't work out because then I'm not putting my family first, or I'm being selfish by taking time for me so that I can work out, right? Like that's a selfish thing for me to do. And I just totally disagree with that now. And at the time, I used to almost try to make myself a martyr. Well, like I can't work out because I'm putting your needs first, or I got to take care of the kids, or I got to do this for you. And it left such a brokenness in me that I was just more or less angry that I wasn't taking care of myself, and I got heavy, and I was, I got up to 285 pounds at one point, and it wasn't muscle. It was a big old belly. And I was just not happy with who I was. And so now that because of my family and because I reframed the way that I view my fitness, it has made me like, oh no, I have to do this so that I can be better for my family. I know I said this already once, but it is truly the most selfless thing that I can do is by leading by example too, because I'm at the home gym. I have the home gym. I can show the kids that I'm working out every day. They can see it every day, and it's setting a great example. And then I can show it better for them. And it's just, there's so many upsides to focusing on your fitness and as a family man, and then also focusing on your family's fitness, that it just, yeah, it's a must in my opinion. I think everybody needs to focus on that part of their life and grow and get better in it all the time.
So are you going to skip workouts on your anniversary, or are you guys going to work out?
We were already talking about it before we got on this call. I was like, tomorrow, because our youngest has like a preschool graduation thing, and I told my wife, I'm like, well, we'll do that, and then my parents are coming and picking her up, and then gonna let us have, like, we're gonna have the day to ourselves. I said we'll work out, and then we'll go for breakfast and whatever. But we already talked about, we got to get the workout in after the
Nice.
graduation.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's good.
Yeah, there's no need for a discussion in this household. They know the workouts are
Yes.
going to happen. But yeah, I mean, it's just crazy. It's 11 years for you, 7 years for me. Went by way too quick. It's all gone by way too quick, and that's what my wife mentioned something about in the next few years, and I was like, I just don't want it to. I don't want it to go by too quick.
Sure.
Even the past 2 to 3 months with all this stuff has didn't feel like it was going by quick on its own. But now that I look back, I was like, man, that went by so quick, and life, you can't get that time back. So to make
Sure.
the most out of it. So what are you guys going to do for your anniversary outside of that? Outside of breakfast, you going to do anything special?
We're gonna go for breakfast and then go for dinner. We don't really get too many date nights without the kids, just because we're in a new town and we haven't really met a babysitter yet that we trust. And then her parents live an hour away, my parents live an hour away, so it's a little logistical thing to try to get that scheduled. But my parents are coming tomorrow. They're going to babysit the kids tomorrow night, so we can go out to a nice restaurant in town, and they're going to have pizza. This
Nice.
restaurant is famous for their pizza, so they have like just a bunch of different kinds of pizzas. Like the last time we went there, I got a Reuben pizza, so it's pretty good. Like it was
A
like a
Reuben
Reuben
sandwich?
sandwich,
Oh,
yeah, but on a pizza. Yeah,
well,
it was pretty good. I really liked it, so we'll do that, and that's about it. What about you? What about you guys? Do anything?
well, hey, we go back and forth with, hey, what do you want to do? No, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? One thing I definitely want to do is, like, we live on the east coast of Florida. We got married on St. Augustine Beach.
Mm.
So I'm thinking we're going to go up there and retake our pictures. My favorite picture of all time, I'll send it to you, is literally lifting her up off her feet and kissing her, like, with the water underneath us on the
Oh,
beach. It's
I
like
love that.
my all time. Yeah, I know
That's
most
awesome.
wrestlers said their 8x10s are their favorite pictures, but that is absolutely, it's up in our, we have a little bit of a kind of built-in shelf type thing here in the apartment. And just every time I pass that, I'm like, that is the most perfect
That's awesome.
wedding picture or any picture I've ever seen in my life. I'm partial, I'm biased, but
Sure.
just my favorite picture of all time. So we'll
That's
probably
awesome.
go back. I don't know if I can recreate it with my lower back the way it is. Nothing against
not
Sarah. Like,
not this year.
I can't even lift this box
Yeah.
here without there being an issue. So it's me. She's
Sure.
not, she's a very tiny thing, but
Sure.
there's no hip hinging right now that I can do. So maybe lots of anniversary things are out of the question then if the hips can't work.
No, that's funny.
But I will take a
That's
picture
awesome.
there and we'll revisit where we got married 7 years ago. And it's pretty amazing. Probably take her out to something to eat out there, but it's not terribly far, which is great that we can drive
Yeah.
up there anytime we want to do that. And it's literally whatever she wants to do. She even, weirdest thing, she was like, hey, do you want to go look at more trucks, or you want to test drive a Tesla again or whatever? We're in an interesting, like, dynamic from day one where we put each other first
That's
and it
awesome.
just always works out. It's kind of cool.
That's awesome. That's awesome. It's funny you
Like it doesn't, it's not a House Hunters episode where I got to win. I got to do this. No, we put each other
yeah,
first. Go ahead, though. I'm sorry.
that's awesome. No, that's all. I mean, that's awesome. And that's the way it should be. You know, you should put her first. She should put you first, and things work out better that way. You know, when it's not that, it's harder. That's for sure. So, but the St. Augustine Beach, my wife and I went to St. Augustine on our honeymoon. So
Really?
just more small world stuff. So like
You guys,
when you like we went to Daytona Beach and then drove up to St. Augustine and then went around town. And I have a picture that I distinctly remember. There's a tree that grows inside of another tree, and it's like I don't know, kissing tree or something like that. And
that's
so
like near the
I
Columbia
remember having our
restaurant,
picture
I
there.
think, right?
I don't
It's near
remember. I mean,
The
it was 11
cobblestone
years ago.
walkway, where I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, we were walking around town and we were just there, and I remember there was we for our honeymoon we rented a Mustang convertible and drove it up the coast, and then went to St. Augustine and walked around. We did like the little horse ride that they have there, and it's just funny that you got married there and I went, you know, like our anniversaries are 2 days apart. And you got married there, and I went there on my honeymoon. It's just a small friggin' world, dude. We're gonna have to meet up at
I'm
St.
looking because
Augustine
we
Beach.
have pictures. I still have the pictures from when,
No, it's awesome.
oh, that's not it. That's a different picture. Uh,
No.
that's not it. That's after I talked back to her. I'm trying to find it.
That's
I
funny.
mean, went through a couple things here. No, Lord, that sucks. We had it.
Yeah, it was. I
Hmm.
can find. I'm sure I have it here. I'm looking. Just see, when did I
There's the
get married?
tree you're talking
2012.
about. The tree I'm thinking of. We took one of our wedding pictures. It's outside the Columbia restaurant, and it's a fountain, but it also has the double tree thing that you're talking about. Unless there's
Oh,
more
really?
location. That's a
No,
very
I don't remember there being more than one spot. I remember. Yeah, maybe I don't have the picture. My wife's got it somewhere. Yeah,
so
it
we
sounds
were
like
meant to
I
do the
don't see
show
it.
together. It seems we have a lot of parallel
I guess so.
experiences on that. That's really cool. It's really cool. Hopefully, and let people know we did have another themed episode as it pertained to our wives, but I had gotten sick. We were planning on the Valentine's Day episode of the Big Fitness Show to kind of do this, but with them actually discussing like what it was like. Which
Participating, maybe.
my wife would have told a much funnier story about her reaction Christmas morning that I was going to the gym. I can't quite do it
Oh,
justice,
shoot.
but that's it, man. That's it. I mean, happy
Yeah.
anniversary.
Yeah, same to you, dude. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I hope, yeah, many
It,
more, I guess.
it sounds so cliche. I mean, you have your ups and downs, you have your not so great days sometimes that are a little tough, but every day is like, you know, I really do marvel at the fact that this woman married me and
Sure.
put up with some of my craziness and insanity and all that stuff and my ideas about turning, living spaces in the gyms and stuff like that. She's been an absolute angel, and like I'm so grateful for her. So every day, it doesn't lose, the gratitude doesn't leave me. As a matter of
Sure.
fact, it's been way more enhanced since the illness, and then way more enhanced since that illness kind of brought us and center our faith again. And now we know we have a more of a purpose. And like I say, people can believe what they want or not, but the fact that now our marriage, especially after the hospitals and the illness and the treatment and the therapies, they've we've recentered and said, oh, our marriage and our job in this marriage is to actually serve God.
Sure.
It's a
Yeah.
whole new perspective that we both have a job to do and a duty to honor him and honor our
Sure.
faith like that. So it's been better than ever. That's just the way
Yeah.
I look at it.
No, that's great, dude. And the it just keeps getting better. Like I'm in the same boat as you. Like it just our married life is better than it's ever been. And yeah, I think I honestly, to bring it back to the fitness part of this, I think it has a lot to do with that. In the last couple of years, It's just really like I feel like we grow closer and closer together every single day. And I'm so grateful for where we are in our marriage and our lives and stuff. But I think the fitness piece of it was part of the catalyst to get us there. Like we've connected more over that. We're both aligned a little more in that. And so it's brought us closer together and made our marriage better, and it's made our family life better. And so, it took us a little bit to get there, but we're here now, and it's just awesome. And it's so good to keep moving and to keep going, moving forward. And, we can talk about this in a year and talk about anniversaries again and revisit this and see how the last year has been, with the fitness journey.
We'll see if she puts up with me for that long. See if
Yeah. See if
she
we're still
does.
aligned.
I think, yeah, if she hasn't by this point, it's probably she's in for the long haul. But hey, since you
Same.
put that so eloquently and you're the draw, I'll make you take us out.
Yeah. So thanks everybody for tuning in this week. We're very happy, to our wives. We love you very much. And everybody else that is listening and watching this, we love you too. Just not as much as we love our wives, and my kids love you guys as well. But thanks for watching. Tune in and subscribe here every week. We're going to be putting out more episodes. If you have questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, leave them in the comment section on YouTube, or subscribe to us on all the podcast platforms. Leave a review, leave us a voicemail. We're definitely going to be answering questions moving forward. And yeah, as always, thanks for tuning in. For Medium Stevie, The Draw, and Big Mike Behrens, thanks everybody, and we'll see you in the next episode.